Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt, joined by my good buddy Adam Glyn out of New York. What's up?
What's up, bud? Welcome back to the weekly rundown. Last week we had a good one. We had Melissa Rivers on the podcast taking your place because you were in Europe. But now you're back, Dax, and I'm happy to see you, friend.
But are you really? Would you rather be talking to Melissa?
I'd rather be talking to Melissa. She's got a lot more money. I only like talking to rich people. You know, yes, you do drive a Tesla. However, it's Melissa Rivers, okay?
She's definitely got
I like to
way
talk to
more
very
money.
successful people. Yes, but I'm excited to talk to you when we go over the weekly rundown. We do about 20-minute podcast every week where we talk about the top 10 stories of the week. So you could go into the weekend knowing a little bit about what's going on in the entertainment news. Dax, is that cool with you? Is that what we do here? Would you say? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you do a good job, and I think it's like you said, Cliff Notes version of the week. But you know what? I get a lot of feedback from guys saying, thanks for giving me this little glimpse of, entertainment news. I don't follow it all week, but I like to impress either my girlfriend, my wife, and you guys are the ones that are helping me out. So we got you.
Love it. Just trying to get you guys laid out there. So, also, if you like the podcast, leave a review, 5-star only. Say a few kind words. If you do that, we actually read your reviews live on air. It's the best thing to do to support this podcast. We say that because it's true. All right. Is that true, Dex?
That is true. And I got one for us right now. This one comes from El Leroy. It says, heard about you guys on Demois, the podcast, and immediately jumped over to listen. Oh my God. You guys have great delivery style and you don't play coy about naming. Thanks. I'm addicted, said Leslie R. Love it. Keep being addicted. We appreciate it. We love just hearing the feedback. Let me give you another one real fast. This one comes from InStyle Brit. It says, Kyle Cook interview. Love, 5 stars. Love how you were fanboying over Kyle. All your questions were my questions. Love your podcast. It's my new find, and I'm so happy I found you guys. Dude, if you only knew, Adam is the biggest fan of all these like Bravo shows, especially. Yes, don't try to act cool now. We all know you love the Bravo crap, and I don't blame you. But
Summer House is a great show.
Summer House you love. All right, last one before we get going, so we can wrap this up. Ali Oz Corp said, love, 5 stars. You guys are hilarious, and I love all the inside tea you have. Well, thank you, Ali Oscorp, for taking some time and leaving us a review. Like we've said many, many times, it means the world to us. All right, let's jump in here. We got the top 10 things in entertainment news. Get you the raw rundown. Number 10, Adam, A-Rod, 0 regrets over his breakup with J-Lo. Do you believe it? Number 1, before I get into the story, do you believe that?
I think A-Rod is a politician. Do I think he has any regrets? No. First of all, he got to bed J-Lo. I do agree that there is no regrets over it. I think he's probably a little cold or pissed at how it went down and how it ended because she moved on very, very quick with a very very big star, Ben Affleck. But I don't think he has any regrets over it.
All right, so he went on the Martha Stewart podcast on Wednesday saying, life is good post J-Lo. He said, you know what, Martha? Thank goodness, no regrets. Life is good. I'm very fortunate. They began dating back in 2017. They got crazy serious super fast. And then, they were like, their families were mixing. Everything was good. They got engaged. And then in 2021, they split. It made it sound like he wasn't staying true to her is what it kind of seemed at the time. He said that, look, we had a great time. He said, most importantly, we put all the kids front and center in everything that we do. He basically called her the most talented person. He said, she's the hardest worker, and I think she's the greatest live performer in the world today that's alive. So I think that's major praise from Alex. I think he is making sure that if, he's looking going, Ben Affleck got a second chance, so I'm not going to say anything bad because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, he got what he wanted out of it. He got, he got to actually sleep with J-Lo. It was good for what it lasted. Did it go the route that he wanted to? Did they get married? No. With that said, I don't expect him to have ill will towards Jennifer. I think it's more of like how she just, like, I don't know. Remember when they broke up? It felt like 2 weeks later she was being seen with Ben Affleck.
yeah,
It was like kind of crazy. She moved on very quickly.
It was really fast. All right, let's get moving on ourselves. Number 9, Kanye West being sued by a production company for $7 million. So this production company is called Phantom Labs. They worked with him on multiple huge, large-scale projects between June 2021 and March 2022. Some of those things were like the 4 Weeks of Sunday Service, the Donda 2 live event, Free Larry Hoover show with Drake, and then they were supposed to work on the Coachella 2022 performance before he bailed on that. And they said, look, everything was going good. They were making payments. But then in February of 2022, they say that they were owed over $6 million. And I guess he said, look, I will pay all of this once I get my money from Coachella. Because he was supposed to get like $9 million from his Coachella performance before backing out of it. He backed out, and then the company went, whoa, now they incurred another $1 million in cancellation fees. So they want their money.
So I saw something actually interesting on the news this week that Kanye has filed for so many, like over like 50 trademarks in the past few years, but only so many got like approved. Okay. And I think he's just such a he's a guy who kind of we know someone who's been like this. He jumps on emotion very quickly, you know, and it sounds like there was an issue. I don't know. It's based on Kanye's history.
The guy's a billionaire. So if you owe $7 million to people that did all your stuff, pay him. That's it. He's a billionaire. He can afford it. Right?
Yeah, he definitely can afford it. I just think Kanye is very difficult to work with, and he might and again, I'm just assuming it. He might change his ways very quick. But yes, at the end of the day, you put out some money, you deserve to get paid back. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way you wanted to, but he deserves to get paid.
All right, number 8, Joe Jonas, Sophie Turner, welcome baby number 2. So, they recently moved to Miami. They got this big waterfront property, but found out that they welcomed a baby girl earlier this month. That's about all we know. So this is their second daughter, and that we are told that, well, we are not told, but TMZ was told that Sophie and the newborn are home from the hospital and relaxing. And so, they had Willa back in 2020, and now this is their second daughter. We don't really have any other information other than that. So quick, easy, straight to the point. You have any feedback on that one?
Joe Jonas, I have no feedback. Congratulations on to baby number 2. Joe Jonas is very good on TikTok. That's my only thing I have to say about this. That's my feedback. Congratulations. I mean, listen, you had a baby. You did it. Congrats. Good luck. I'm sure it'll be very nice because they have nannies so they could get their beauty sleep. With that said, Joe Jonas is excellent on TikTok. He's very likable. He's fun. He's funny. He's great.
That's so funny. All right, number 7, Keanu Reeves wants to play a live-action Batman, and he's saying hopefully down the road. I thought this was kind of funny. So, he was at LA's premiere of DC League of Super Pets, which he is a voiceover actor in. He told Extra TV that, listen, I love Batman as a character, and I love him in the comic books and the films, so to get the opportunity to play Batman was awesome. However, he did say that he would love to play him in a live-action film. It's always been a dream of his. He did go on to say, but Pattinson's got Batman right now, and he's doing awesome, so maybe down the road. So obviously referring to Robert Pattinson, who is the current Batman.
Keanu Reeves would be a great Batman because he actually is a big guy. He's very mysterious. I think he reminds me kind of in some ways like a Michael Keaton Batman, where it was just kind of I think he would be a great Batman. With that said,
Keanu as a Batman. I don't know why. I just think he's got the look. He can have that voice, that dark like Neo voice from the Matrix, so I feel like you can transition that into Batman really easy. And like you said, he's mysterious, he's cool. I think he'd be a great Batman.
The problem is, I don't know if he's too old for Batman now, which is sad. Because he still looks great, he can still move, but he's got the size, he's got the stature.
But George Clooney played Batman.
Yeah, but George Clooney did it 30 years ago.
But George Clooney was
30, maybe 25 years ago.
I say do it. Let's play old Batman.
Old Batman? Yeah.
Old Batman.
I'm
Bring
down
it on.
for Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
That would be a good Batman. I think that would actually be a great move on their part. All right, what's number 6?
All right, number 6, Amber Heard loses again. So if you've been following the continual drama with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, she then went to court again and saying that she wanted a mistrial for everything that went down. She said that one of the jurors basically wasn't vetted properly, so that would get her a mistrial and then try to get out of her $10 million verdict, right? Well, the judge, Judge Penny, basically said, yeah, no, not happening. Everything is fine. We are not going to be redoing the trial. If you had a problem with any of the jurors, your team should have made that apparent during the jury trial or
1000%.
during the jury selection. So, no, not happening. They said juror number 5, it was just fine, and go pay off your $10 million.
So you're 100% right. Their jury selection is from the lawyers. The lawyers get to pick who the jury is going to be. Sometimes that could take weeks.
Wait, are you saying her attorneys may not have done a good job in this?
I think they may not. When I say they didn't do a good job, I think they took the wrong case, because I don't think they had a win here. They were just like, fuck, what did we get ourselves into? But yes, it was up to the lawyers to decide who was going to be the jurors. They said, okay, this is the people. And now my message to Amber would be, take the L and move on. It's okay. But you're just throwing more gas on the fire. Just move on.
Plus, I don't really, is Johnny, like, is he actually going to go after her for the money? If she just doesn't pay, I don't see Johnny going after her. I think he won out in the court of public opinion, and that's all he wanted. And now, like, I see him back on the Dior posters, Dior commercials. I think that he got exactly what he needed out of it. I don't think he needs her $10 million.
Yeah, but it's also could be spiteful and say, you know what, fuck it, pay. So who knows? But I could also see him being a gentleman, saying, listen.
And actually give it over to battered women's shelters like she said she was going to do. That would be dope.
Sure. All right, okay. Number 5.
This is a big one. Dancing with the Stars will no longer be on ABC. Dancing with the Stars has been an incredibly successful show. I can't talk today. Incredibly successful show for ABC for over 16 years. One of their primetime shows. And
one of the most successful series on the network.
Ever. Yeah. And so they're going to be moving off of ABC and over onto Disney Plus. And this is according to Deadline. This will be the first live streaming reality show in the U.S. on a streaming network.
I'm curious who the cast will be for this. Is the cast going to be better? Are they going to pay more people so people kind of tune into Disney Plus, or are they going to keep it the same caliber? I do know that they just hired a host to work with Tyra Banks. It's going to be Alfonso Ribeiro. Carlton from the Will Smith, Fresh Prince. So they got another new host, but is the caliber of the celebrities on the show going to be
Dude, they've ran out of celebrities. They've done every celebrity in Hollywood. Who the hell do they have left?
I mean, yes, they've done 30. They're going to be entering their 31st season. So I don't know how many people are left to do the show.
It's crazy. So anyway, I'm interested to see how that goes. This is a big deal for Disney. Disney Plus is just crushing it right now. So it does make sense for them to test it out. Everyone's moving off of the traditional TV and heading over to streaming networks. So why not have a live show? Smart.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
Oh, this one's crazy. Number 4. Okay, follow me on this one. Elon Musk's dad just had a kid with his stepdaughter.
Wild. Okay, go on. Explain this.
Elon Musk's dad is 76 years old and just had a child with his 35-year-old stepdaughter. And you know what? He also, if you've been listening recently, Elon said that the only thing we are on Earth for is to reproduce, because Elon now, it's known that he has 9 children. And apparently he got this way of thinking from his father, because his father also, I want to say, has like 7 kids or something like that. But apparently the other kids in the family are kind of freaked out because Elon's dad was married to this girl's mother for many, many years, and there's other children involved. They were married 18 years, shared 2 children, and then there was obviously this child from a previous relationship, and then he decided to marry her. And they have a kid.
It's pretty gnarly.
I'm sorry, they didn't marry. They had a kid together, and it wasn't planned, and that they're not actually together anymore. But they were, let's see, lived together for 18 months after the birth of their first child. Now they no longer live together. It's weird though. The only reason I added this one is just because it's such a weird ass story.
It's anything with Elon Musk is interesting, especially last week we found out that he had he's just always in the news, but it's just a very interesting, unique family.
The twins with one of his execs. Wild.
So it's a very
now you know
weird
where
situation.
it comes from. That's what I was basically the only reason I put this story in the rundown, because I was like, it makes sense why Elon's just popping kids out left and right.
For sure.
All right. Moving on, let's get to number 3. We haven't chatted about Britney, at least I haven't. I don't know if you talked about her while I was gone, but she is now winning once again in court. So, if you followed her story, she has been really pushing to prove that her father was having people listen to her, phone tap her, watch everything she does, really kind of have her on lockdown during this conservatorship. And so the judge in this said, yes, your dad now does need to be deposed and produce surveillance records, because they want to see if, in fact, he was monitoring her every move throughout her conservatorship. Like I said, monitoring her phone, bugging her bedroom to record all of her private conversations, just a lot of really nasty allegations towards him. And so he is going to have to sit down and do that. I'm curious to see how that all goes.
So, Dax, let me ask you this. With this deposition, does that become public record? Are we able to see that deposition, or how does that work?
That depends on the lawyers involved. If Britney, and it kind of feels like Britney's into having the public know a lot of this stuff now, so there's a good chance that it does get made public. Depositions, like I said, can go either way. I've seen, Justin Bieber sit down for a deposition. I've seen a lot of big celebs sit down for depositions, and they go public, so it wouldn't be uncommon.
This is a very big story. This could be very interesting. Either Britney is going to look very bad because she's the girl that cried wolf. Why doesn't
look bad either way? If
it comes forward that if this was all true, and we find out the reason behind this, so it's either A, could work in her favor, or B, maybe she wasn't being accurate.
I don't know. I feel like Britney is at the point where she has got nothing to lose, and every day on Instagram she basically says, "Go F the world."
Sure.
I don't care what you think. So I think she's at a point where she goes, I want to prove that he was watching everything, and I had to live inside of a glass house for so long that I'm over it, and I want the world to know. So again, that's how I could see the deposition coming out, because Britney wants the world to know.
All right. Number 2.
Ivana Trump passed away at the age of 73. Obviously, Ivana is the mother of Donald Trump's 3 eldest children. Former President Donald Trump's first wife. She died, and the family announced that Trump came on one of his social media platforms, I guess it's called True Social, and said, "I am very saddened to inform all of those that loved her, of which there are many, that Ivana Trump has passed away at her home in New York City. She was a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life. Her pride and joy were her 3 children, Donald, Ivanka, and Eric. She was so proud of them, and they were also proud of her. Rest in peace." And then, so the details here are that police responded to her residence in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, where she was found dead at the bottom of a set of stairs. And they found Trump at the top of the stairs, which is weird.
No, that's not true. Yeah, it's not true.
I'm just kidding. So ABC reported her death was not considered suspicious, and police are investigating whether she may have just fallen. An initial report from ABC said the police believed that she had died of natural causes. So they're looking into that, and I'm sure we will see a couple more articles come out with what exactly went down.
It is sad, and I'm not, say what you want about Donald Trump. I'm just saying, but she was like a staple in New York City. Yeah. I would see her a lot in the Upper East Side. Everyone knew she was. And even with all the news that Trump has made over the last few years, she never kind of jumped in that. She was never, I don't know, in my opinion, it was never.
Yeah, she was never she never got any of that, that focus that a lot of the other, his children got and all that. She was separate from it all.
So, totally separate. She handled it with class and just never. She didn't put attention on herself. She was very nice, but she was a staple of the Upper East Side. So yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's, someone passed away. It sucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously, number one is going to be Khloe. I mean, there's no other bigger story right now than Khloe and Tristan having baby number 2 via surrogate. I think the world, like myself, was shocked to hear. TMZ reported the fact that Khloe was expecting a baby with Tristan, but the details are really interesting. So this goes back to like December. They had this surrogate impregnated. Do you say impregnated? Implanted with a fetus? I'm sorry, I don't know the right terminology here. Before they broke up. So in December, they went their separate ways once she found out that he was having a baby with another woman. What bad timing. Good God. Can you imagine? You're like, she's had all these issues with pregnancy, and she had said that she almost miscarried with True, and so the doctors had kind of said, I don't think you should have another baby. So she goes out of her way to get a surrogate, and they implant a baby and all this stuff, and then you find out your boyfriend's still a douchebag and still cheating on you with other people. Like, that sucks.
It's a very weird situation. I mean, Khloe's been an angel, I think, during this whole relationship, and Tristan just keeps putting his foot in his mouth. It's been very... Even remember when he was
in his mouth and his wingy and someone else every time.
But even remember the girl outed him for the DMs. It was a Snapchat when he was like, "I will never be part of this baby's life." Tristan's he's an interesting
just
guy.
Not a good guy. It's really sad because I really like Khloe. I really like her.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think let me say what I really think. I think this news came out because the Kardashians are the most brilliant people on the planet when it comes to PR, marketing, knowing what to do, and they're right in the middle of their second season. And I bet anything they are waiting to see if they're going to get a third season. And so they're like, well, if we drop this news, then everyone's going to be talking about us, and Hulu's going to go, oh, I want to see this drama go down. And so they're going to go, of course we want a third season. This is a marketing move in my mind on their part.
1,000%. I think it's interesting, and I'm going to say the word unique, that they broke the news with TMZ. And I can't say that for sure because you have to say the word allegedly, but it's weird that TMZ got the story. You would think that they would want...
Well, someone was going to get the story no matter what. Like, she can't hide that forever.
No, and there's NDAs involved with this as far as with surrogates and stuff.
Unless
wait, Dax, I would say this.
The baby is like on its way anytime. And so it's either people find out or she goes to the hospital and everyone's like, wait a second, why is she at the hospital with this woman who's giving birth? People would put it together and it would get out anyway, I think.
But here's the thing is, they could have broke the story themselves. Khloe could have put a post on Instagram and said, hi guys, here's a little update of my life. I'm having a surrogate. I'm having another baby with Tristan, and we're having a surrogate, and basically explain the news herself. Instead, the story was broke by TMZ, and they could have controlled the narrative, and I'm sure they knew the story was coming out. Instead, they let TMZ broke it, and they didn't care about the narrative because they like that everyone's questioning the story and saying, what's going on here? Is she back with him? Like, what's the deal here? This is crazy. This is insane. And obviously, it gets people talking. Like, they don't care what the narrative is. It makes them interesting.
They love the people talking. It works for them. God, they're just so good at their jobs. And you say they don't have jobs. This is their job. No, people would pay so much money to do what the Kardashians do. Like, they have the constant press, be in the headlines. Like, even if it's for crappy things, they're in the headlines. You have people talking about you. People would pay so much money to have a PR person do this, and they just do it naturally.
It's funny. Every publicist is only as good as their client. The Kardashians are pretty much their own publicist. And every news site, they're looking at to see what people are clicking on. They see what's getting clicks, what's not getting clicks, who people care about and who they don't care about. And the public cares about the Kardashians. And they know that, and they're playing chess right now when we're playing checkers.
I could see them being like, Khloe be like, I should probably have another baby with Tristan because that right there is going to get everyone to talk. Like, really, it's crazy. Man,
I just wonder if they have they go into a conference room and they have this whole strategic thing, or they're like, yeah, let's just do it.
Let's just do. At this point, I feel like it just naturally happens for them. Like, their lives are so crazy that the storylines that they have gone through, you couldn't manufacture in a lab. They are so wild. You know, between Caitlyn's transition story and the Jordan Woods Tristan stuff. I mean, it just goes on and on and on there. You're just like, how do they do this? All right, that's it. That's all the Kardashian stuff we can talk to you guys about. So I hope you enjoyed our top 10 Raw rundown for this week. I hope you guys feel caught up and knowledgeable, and you can walk into the weekend having stuff to talk about with people, saying you are caught up on all things entertainment. Make sure you guys drop on into iTunes, scroll down to the bottom, and leave us a 5-star review. Say a couple good words. It means the world to us. We really appreciate it. And follow us on social media. Adam, what social media we got out there?
We got Hollywood Raw Pod on Instagram. Make sure you check us out on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all. We got a private Facebook group page called Off the Record, where you can figure out some of the dirt behind the story that we probably can't talk on the podcast, but it's where all our fans get to talk, unite, and kind of get a real good scoop before it hits the mainstream news. Follow me at Adam Glyn, Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at DAXHOLT. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Guys, hope you like that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.